justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. This meeting has been posted and announced in accordance with Chapter 231 PL 1975. Mr. Palladino, will you call the roll?
Sure. Trustee Graziano.
Here.
Trustee Groneman.
Here.
Trustee Jacko.
Here.
Trustee Lopez.
Here.
Trustee Sheldon.
Here.
Vice President Barrera.
Here.
Madam President.
Here.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to advance notice of and to attend meetings of this board, except where specifically exempted by law, in which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having same advertised in the Belleville Times. Also, notice of this meeting has been mailed to the members of the Board of Ed, the Borough Clerk, all elementary schools, the middle school, the high school, and the district website.
Thank you, Mr. Palladino. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of closed session and public session for the February 26, 2018 meeting?
Motion.
A motion by Ms. Stopper, second by Mr. Barrera. Mr. Palladino? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? High school representative?
Good evening. My name is Shreeza Bulusan. I am the Student Government Treasurer here at VHS. Here is a recap of what has been happening at Belleville High School. Starting with old business. The Unified Special Olympics was scheduled for Friday, March 2nd, but was canceled due to a nor'easter that afternoon. Spirit Week occurred last week from March 5th to the 9th. Now on to new business. The Unified Special Olympics has been rescheduled for Wednesday, the 21st at 7 p.m. Next, the show dates for the school play in the Heights are March 15th and 16th at 7 p.m. and the 17th at 3 p.m. The Spring Pep Rally will occur on Friday, April 13th. Team captains will call out their roster to raise school morale for the upcoming spring athletic season. The spring blood drive is planned for Tuesday, May 1st in the Connie Francis Theater throughout the school day. SGO volunteers will be serving refreshments during the course of this event. Lastly, students Isabel Viterbo, Andres Pazudaka, Adrian Rojas, and Jen Tricoli all made it to nationals for the Future Business Leaders of America, or FBLA States competition. Thank you to Mr. Rhodes, Mr. Fabiano, Mr. Woodring, and Mr. Sheridan for their help. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Tomko?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. Good to see all of you. A lot of great things happening in the district. We have our Students of the Month that we always honor. We're working very hard. Our teachers, our administrators, our paraprofessionals, everyone. I had a chance to go around a few weeks ago, do some observations, especially of some of our newer teachers, and just some of the energy is really incredible. So I'm very proud of what everyone's doing here. This is a great place to be. I think your kids will tell you that. Progress. We keep working hard at trying to make this the best district in the state, and we know it is. That's why we all come here every day. So, again, thank you for coming out. And I want to move on right away now to a safety summit that we are having here on Tuesday, the 27th at 6:30. Tuesday, the 27th, we will be talking in conjunction with the municipality, or Chief Minikini and I will be presenting a joint safety summit, which will, my presentation last meeting, if you were here, when we talked about some of the safety issues that we had or some of the things that we've been implementing, we're going to expand on those a little bit more, talk about some other issues regarding traffic safety and some other things that may be some concerns for the citizens. We'll be publicizing this, obviously, more throughout the weeks. You'll see it on our TV station here. We'll call it out. However, I just want to let everyone know it's Tuesday the 27th at 6:30. So if you were here last meeting, we recognized the Governor's Teachers Educators of the Year. We had an unfortunate miscommunication here for School 5, something that I was very embarrassed about. And I think I need to say that a public apology to those individuals, those teachers, those Educators of the Year, due to the fact that we didn't recognize them the way they deserve to be recognized. So it was no malintent here, and I think we let them know that, and hopefully tonight makes up for that. So I apologize personally for the embarrassment that it probably caused them. I'm sure it did. I know it caused me some embarrassment up here. But again, please note there was no disrespect intended. So we'd like to make it up to you tonight in a more intimate setting here by maybe calling Ms. Rotunda up to the podium. Ms. Lipro, Mr. Vernon, and Ms. Castellani and Ms. Delizio, thank you so much for all you do. So now you have a formidable audience for what you deserve here.
Thank you, Dr. Tomko, for being so understanding with my family.
Sorry, Mr. Member. Our IT coordinator.
I'll just go out.
I'm new in the classroom.
They worked on this all afternoon. They assured me this was all set to go today. So, Perp, I don't want you to take this. I got it. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry about it. You did a good job. Great job.
Dr. Tomko, I just want to thank you again for your understanding when I contacted you last month about a very serious emergency of a medical nature in my family. And my teacher and my nurse both know that, and they were also very understanding in telling me just to take care of family. It was my mom, who's 92 years old, and she is doing much better, so I'm grateful for that. And thank you again for your patience in waiting for me to acknowledge you in the proper way. Thank you so much. And again, thank you, Dr. Tomko. First, I'd like to speak a few minutes about my educational services professional, my nurse, Brenda Delizio. When I think of Brenda, so many wonderful qualities come to mind. Professional, hardworking, passionate, sincere, communicative, compassionate, thorough, the list goes on and on. She truly demonstrates each and every day how devoted and dedicated she is to administration, faculty, staff, students, and her profession in general. I've worked with Brenda for the last 8 years and didn't know her prior to becoming principal of School 5. However, I feel I have known her and been her friend all of my life. She is a lifelong friend. She is so deserving of this honor, and to say that she is a valued member of our School 5 family is truly an understatement. I apologize, I'm very weepy lately. I love you, Brenda. As a mom, she has raised 2 hardworking, dedicated, respectful young men. The love for her boys is evident every time she speaks of them. We are so similar in that regard, and also in our love of animals. Every day working with you has been a privilege that I will hold forever close to my heart. I love you and congratulations. Tony Castellani, School 5's Teacher of the Year. I met Tony several years ago at School 7. I was a counselor and she was a teacher. She was always a hardworking, cooperative, passionate person. Years later, we both transferred to School 5 and began a closer working relationship. She was one of my kindergarten teachers for the first 6 years as building principal. For the last 2 years, Tony has been teaching 3rd grade. She is doing a phenomenal job and has made the transition from kindergarten to 3rd grade look very easy. She is truly talented. She is on many committees serving the school and district well. She's always willing to lend a hand to teachers, administration, and families. She always has a smile on her face. Tony is also raising a beautiful family consisting of 2 beautiful, respectful daughters. And each time I've seen them, I can't help but remark what a wonderful mom Tony is. It has been a great experience working with you, Tony, and I will truly miss you. You truly deserve this wonderful honor. I'm so proud of you. God bless.
Let's give him another round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you. And although it's not a formal setting, and I know it'll be more formal and more announced later on, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Ms. Rotunda, who was on the agenda tonight, and thank her publicly for the district for her 44 years of service to the students and faculty members of Belleville. Thank you so much. Enjoy your retirement. And progress.
There's got to be a mistake with the math. She only was 24 years old.
You made my night.
Thank you, Dr. Tomko. Mr. Egan?
Good evening, all. Just a couple of items. Updates the process of selling the bonds that were approved by the voters to prepare our building. We made the presentation to Standard & Poor's. We were very successful. In spite of all our shortcomings going back a couple of years, we were given an A rating, which is very, very good. We went out to bid. We have the financial institution that will be the underwriter that will take responsibility to sell the bonds for us. The closing on that is March 22nd, and that's when the bonds will go up for sale. Parallel to that, working with the architects, they have finalized the projects that we're looking to do this summer. The details and specifications have been prepared, and we will receive copies of the specifications this week by Wednesday, so we can review them too, and then we will be going out to bid. Tuesday, tomorrow, the governor will be presenting his budget plan to the state, which will include his spending plan for the entire year. It's after this meeting that all school districts will get a detailed description of what our state aid and financing will be. We expect to receive that by Thursday, the latest, and then we can put the budget together to submit it to the board. Next year's budget, the budget for 1920. But that's all work is in progress. Finally, the last item is that we've been working very closely with the superintendent and the business administrator. We've been trying to make the district as financially independent as possible, to make it efficient, while still getting our jobs accomplished. One of the things that was I did here was to straighten out the finances, but then also the first project I really concentrated on was the condition of the buildings. Parallel to that, though, in dealing with the superintendent, is we have the schools for education. So what are we doing for the academic side of the house? So we put together we examined the textbook situation in this district. The years that the teachers and the community criticized or complained that the textbooks were out of date, old. We've already started coming up with new series, and I'm happy to report that signed off on the purchase orders, at least 4 different purchase orders. The total amount comes to over $490,000 for all the textbooks that we're getting for the district. And we were able to do that from economies that we instituted within the school district for the past year. So that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Egan. Can I have a motion to open for public participation?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Remarks regarding agenda items that are relevant to the educational system. Participants must sign in and be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by announcing that his or her name, municipality, and group affiliation if appropriate. The individual called shall proceed with a maximum of 3 minutes. All statements shall be directed to the President of the Board of Education. No participant may address board members individually. Georgiana Polite.
Hi, good evening, George Polite. You had addressed a little bit of it, Mr. Egan, concerning the infrastructure of the school itself, and there have been posts on social media showing some serious things that need immediate attention. Are we doing anything or have anything immediate plans to address those? And
If you're speaking of the posts that were sent to me regarding the leaking roofs, that's a perfect example of why we passed the referendum. And it's the first thing we're doing the roofs this summer. So, I mean, doing the roofing when students are here is just not possible. There's asbestos abatement, there's, safety concerns. So, I mean, we're going out to bid. I shouldn't probably say, but within the next month, the bids will be, we're gonna be very transparent, very public with the whole process. I know we're gonna be doing probably a night out with the attorneys, talk about the bidding process as well, because we know people are concerned about that, but passing of the referendum was crucial for fixing those issues. So, I mean, unfortunately, those issues exist, and we're gonna be doing that this summer. So, as soon as
what
the
measures,
day
are
after-
there any other more immediate measures that you can do just to,
Well, again, we even had the situation in school 3 with the fire alarm was due to a roof leak too. So, I mean, those things do occur still. So, our maintenance men, we do have roofers that come in from time to time to patch different leaks, and right now they're all Band-Aids. So, I mean, it has to be a complete overhaul on most of these roofs, especially
right,
roof.
but in the case where there was apparently leaking, you can't do flashing in that one particular
Whatever's done to
section?
repair it. I think the problem is how some of these roofs are situated and where the repairs need to be done. Some of it has to be ripped off completely and started over, especially with some of the rain and some of the storms that we've had. You see a lot of that wear and tear over
Right,
the
but
years.
as you said, if there's asbestos involved and the roof is leaking, it may compromise the whole situation, whereas at least if there was flashing done, for that one particular area, I don't know how many other areas
Yeah, I
there
don't-
may or may not be.
I don't know, I don't pretend to be a roofer or whatnot. I just know, I know we do everything we possibly can to stop the leaks. But I know that after the summer, we won't have those issues again.
Thank you.
I have a motion to close public participation.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on, resolutions, personnel. I have a motion on personnel 1 through 17.
Motion.
Second.
A motion from Ms. Jocko, second from Mr. Graziano. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Palladino?
Trustee Graziano.
Yes.
Trustee Garland.
Yes.
Trustee Jacko.
Yes.
Trustee Lopez.
Yes.
Trustee Sheldon.
Yes.
Vice President Barrera.
Yes.
Madam President.
Yes. I have a motion on curriculum and instruction.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Palladino?
Trustee Graziano.
Yes.
Trustee Garland.
Yes.
Trustee Jacko.
Yes.
Trustee Lopez.
Yes.
Trustee Sheldon.
Yes.
Vice President Barrera.
Yes.
Madam President.
Yes. Okay, board action and board policy, we are pulling from the agenda 9/11. I have a motion on board action and board policy.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Palladino, can you poll the board on 9/1 through 10 and 12 through 13?
Sure. Trustee Graziano.
Yes.
Trustee Garland.
Yes.
Trustee Jacko.
Yes.
Trustee Lopez.
Yes.
Trustee Sheldon.
Yes.
Vice President Guerrero.
Yes.
Madam President.
Yes. We're pulling 10-1 from the agenda. May I have a motion on purchasing and business services 2 and 3?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Palladino?
Trustee Graziano.
Yes, but on 10-2, I recommend putting cameras in place.
Trustee Groman.
Yes.
Trustee Jacko.
Yes.
Trustee Lopez.
Yes, as amended.
Trustee Sheldon.
Yes.
Vice President Guerrero.
Yes.
Madam President.
Yes. With nothing in finance. I have a motion to open for public participation.
Motion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Remarks regarding any item and issue that are relevant to the educational system. The participant must sign in and be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by announcement of his or her name, municipality, and group affiliation if appropriate. The individual called shall proceed with a maximum of 5 minutes. All statements shall be directed to the President of the Board of Education. No participant may address board members individually. Frank Velez?
Hello, my name is Frank Velez. I'm a junior. I currently am the liaison for the March for Our Lives here at Belleville High School. The fact of the matter is 17 people died, hundreds previous to that, and probably hundreds more. We need to take the lead, and the students here have. I just want to update the board that we are going to have the march. We have an amazing cast of great speakers with spokespeople for Senators Booker and Menendez, and we have an official statement coming out for Congressman Albios Arrest of the 8th District. I just wanted to make the record known that the students here, we do care, we're not going to be complacent, and we're going to give a lead, even if we don't have public support of the administration. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Ms. Polite? Mr. Mignon?
Good evening. It's just, I guess, coincidental that Mr. Velez got up to speak. And when I heard about Mr. Velez getting up last week and speaking about this march on the 14th, and so I just thought on behalf of the Teachers Association that I would write something, post it on our Facebook page, and also send it out to all our members. And I would really like this, like to read this letter to the entire community on how the Teachers Association feels about this event. So I'll just read it as verbatim. To our Belleville community, in the wake of the recent school tragedy, the Women's March is calling for a nationwide walkout of teachers, students, administrators, and parents in protest to gun violence on March 14, 2018. The Belleville Education Association, comprised of almost 400 Belleville teachers, nurses, counselors, and CST workers, understands the need to call for our elected officials to action on this matter. Although we advocate for our students on the issues of safe schools, as well as respect their freedom to express their discontent with the lack of legislation supporting this issue, BEA does not advocate for walkouts. BEA does not support the rights, BEA does support the rights of students, parents, and others to advocate for an end to gun violence in our schools. That is why we will be participating in a national day of action against gun violence in schools events on April 20th. We ask our Belleville students, parents, and residents to join us on April 20th as we take action together as a community against gun violence and get our message out to our lawmakers that we will not tolerate inaction. It is our responsibility to ensure the safety of our students while they are in our care, and we feel that a walkout would be putting all at risk. Please consider joining us on April 20th as we take action in a safe manner together. And then I signed that myself, President Mike Mignon, President of the Belleville Education Association. So, again, as I say, we do respect our students, and we respect how they feel, and we actually agree on how they feel about gun violence. It's just our position that we think that a national day of walking out and being out in the open is really not a safe event, not a safe action to do. So would love to call on Mr. Velez, and Frank, I will come and see you at one point, maybe to get together for April 20th and do something a little bit more safer, but actually get our voice out on gun violence and what's doing and keeping our schools more safe. But something that's more productive in a manner. Not that I'm saying that this isn't productive, but something more productive in the way that it's safer, and we're doing it as a community. And we are able to support our students. And maybe we can all, the Board of Ed can get on board with something like this, and the teachers, and the community, and their families. Something we can all do together as a community, and something maybe that would be the kind of event that might be publicized on TV or something of that sort, rather than just join a force that's put out by one group, and again, like I said, all on the same day, not necessarily something that we think is safe. So I'll be talking to Dr. Tomko about this, and maybe the Board of Education members about something that we can do. It's a little while away, and if we can, maybe get the publicity that we need, we can have just as much effective, it could be just as effective or even more effective than this march. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mignon. Chair Garcia?
Nothing to say.
Can I have a motion to close public participation?
Excuse me. This is my wife's first time here. She had an issue, but when we got here, she didn't know where to sign in. So it would be okay if she spoke. It's going to take a couple minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, can we get your name?
Absolutely, it's Danielle Wells, Danyale. Thank you for hearing me. Actually, what brought me here tonight is some concerns for the busing system of the middle school kids. My daughter is a sixth grader at the middle school, and she just recently started to take the bus to school, but the concern was the lateness. So the way I understand it, this has been an issue through the year and in the prior years. On Friday, she was 30 minutes late to school. Her first period, well, first and second, is math, and she had 10 minutes left to take a test. So while I understand that we had just come out of a storm and maybe Friday isn't a great example, however, in the past, the students in her class that take the bus have been coming in averaging about 15 to 20 minutes late. And with 40-minute periods on a core subject like math, I feel like that's kind of unacceptable. So I wanted to bring this to your attention to see if there's something that we can do. She takes the Celia Terrace bus. I know that there's another bus that she knows of, and they're not as late as the Celia Terrace bus, but the Celia Terrace bus, out of a 5-day school week, they're late about 3 times during the week. So I just wanted to address that this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a motion to close public participation?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Move on to items, remarks, and committee reports to be presented by board members. Ms. Jocko?
I just want to keep encouraging the parents to attend the board meetings. I think it's important for you to be informed of what's going on in the school district, especially with a referendum in motion. So I thank the community that's here today, and please tell your family and friends to be coming to the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jocko. Mr. Garland?
Thank you everyone for coming. Frank Velez, I appreciate what you're doing. As board members, we can't encourage a walkout, but I like what Mike Mignon had to say. Maybe it can't hurt just to have a discussion with him, because our main thing is all the students being 100 and faculty being 100% safe. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Garland. Mr. Sheldon?
A little under the weather here, so bear with me. Ms. Wells, I reached out this morning through email to the principal of middle school, Mr. Royal, and our transportation coordinator, Ms. Cordobasco, as well as Dr. Tomko. They've already given me some information about the bus situation for the middle school, so after the meeting is over, if you'd like to stop by, I'll discuss what I found out so far. Again, I'm dealing with the aftermath of a really bad cold, so that's all I'm going to say for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sheldon. Mr. Graziano?
Thank you all for coming out tonight. I have really no comments, but again, please keep coming out. We enjoy your participation. We need your feedback. So thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Graziano. Ms. Lopez?
I have a brief comment. Good evening. I have a few brief comments to make. One is I'd like to acknowledge, I don't know, in our society we tend to focus on the negative and not so much on the positive. And so with regard to Egan's report, I think it's excellent. Good job with getting us an A+ rating. That's huge. We did a lot of work around that to get us to that A+ rating. Good job. That will save us money. That will save the taxpayers money. So, you know, this is a testament to the work of this board and this administration. So good job on that. The textbooks. When I got onto this board, one of the major complaints from this audience was textbooks. Parents were complaining. I know my stepdaughter's in the middle school, and there were times that, you know, we struggled on doing some of our assignments. So the fact that we're getting there, you know, this huge, you know, we have the money finally to buy these textbooks is another good thing that I think that we need to recognize. So good job on that. Frank Velez. Frank, where are you? I didn't get to recognize you at the last meeting. You know, I really, yes, thank you. I want to talk to you. I admire the work that you're doing. I was an activist in college. Many people don't know, before I went to law school, I was actually a community organizer in New York. The work that you're doing is admirable. You're acquiring a skill set that you will be able to use for the rest of your life. Hopefully you go to law school and become a lawyer. But what I want to tell you is that, you know, the safety of our students really is of paramount importance. And we cannot approve this walkout. And I caution you to really think about what will happen tomorrow. I'm a teacher also. And so we're faced with this in my building as well. If you can walk out of the classroom if you have to, but just stay on school grounds, you know, contemplate that, because really our safety, your safety is you know, of utmost importance to us. We absolutely need gun control. I completely agree with that. And you have a constitutional right? Where no one wants to take that away from you. But just remember, what is at the core of this issue? Safety, right? So let's keep our kids safe. As a leader, I'm asking you, let's just make sure that our kids are safe, okay? Thank you. Thank you for your work. Last but not least, I want to commend Mr. Mignon and the BEA. I'm along those lines with you. I think that you're being proactive in organizing a program that delivers that message in a safe venue is the way to go. And I'd like to volunteer my services in any way to assist in that endeavor. And that concludes my remarks for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Mr. Barrera?
Good evening, everyone. Let me start with Frank. Indeed, as I told you last time, I think your initiative is admirable. You're a smart young man, and use that smart to make the right decisions. Sit with Mr. Mignon, with the board if need be. Consider what was put on the table today as an option, because the main reason why you are driven to do this is the safety concerns for your fellow students and the school districts and our world today. So with that in mind, try to do the smart thing, but by all means, continue your initiative. It's excellent. So congratulations for that. senior moment, Otama. Congratulations on your 44 years, excellent. And I wish you luck in your retirement, health, and enjoying it. You've given a lot to our district, and you're working out for you. And that's the end of my remarks for this evening. Oh, and let's not forget the honorees that were here today. Also, our congratulations to them.
Thank you, Mr. Burr. I think you've all pretty much covered it. I'm just going to remind everybody this weekend, the theater production of In the Heights is going to be here at the high school Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Get a chance, go out and see it.
You know what, I have one more thing that I forgot. Very important, I was at the meeting, and I think I said this last time. I was at the meeting of Coffee with a Cop, and there was very little turnout, especially of parents with school-age children, which is very important. With this joint venture that we're going to be having on March 27th, I ask that please everybody make an effort, spread the word. We need to stand together behind all this, listen, express your concerns and thoughts and opinions as to actions that can be taken for the safety of what we value most, our children, our students, our community. So doing it together is very important. Please make an effort to show up and pass the word along to your neighbors, family, parents, etc. Thank you.
I have a motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.